Good afternoon, the Oil Collaborative. This is Good afternoon, the Oil Collaborative. Welcome to your 3 p.m. oils class. Today I am going to talk to you about grounding oils. Now, I've made a few notes here because I could just go on and on about a million different oils, but I specifically want to talk to you about the resin oils from trees. I have used them for many years now to help really give me grounding, peace, and also just help me get through and manage my moods and emotions throughout the days. Now, I know that you're all probably feeling a little bit not really being able to breathe properly at the moment, and these oils are really going to help. The other feeling that I had over the last few days was going for walks and like literally grabbing onto pieces of trees and branches as I'm walking along. And I didn't really notice it, but Ron said to me, why do you keep like snapping bits of branches off? And why are you grabbing the leaves? And I'm like, I just want to feel close to nature. I've been stuck inside an apartment for flipping like way too long. It's making me crazy. So this is what I do to help with my grounding. Firstly, I'm going to start with frankincense oil. Because it is known as the king of oils. You've all got it, I'm sure. If you don't, you're not winning at life. But frankincense oil is known as the king of oils. And the reason I'm picking it first is because it's a very versatile oil. Everybody should have frankincense oil in their toolkit. Now, all of these oils that I'm talking about today, it's delicious, are from trees. So the resin is taken from the trees in different ways and then steam distilled so that we can get this beautiful oil in our hands. Now, a component in frankincense oil called boswellic acid has an effective sort of anti-inflammatory property that can support feelings of calm and balance. But really, it's just such a beautiful smelling grounding oil, and you've already got this, so put this in your grounding oils toolkit. The next one, and frankincense is from Somaliland. Now, what's notable about the countries that these oils come from is that they are grown in the place of the world that they thrive. But the other thing is that as we go through these different oils, you will get some kind of feeling or sense of religious or spiritual bonding with these oils. And it's because these oils, these resin oils, as I talk through them, have been used for hundreds and hundreds of years for religious practices and meditations and grounding practices. So we're so lucky that we can use these oils in our own homes every single day. But frankincense is from Somaliland, and the trees that the frankincense is taken from have been handed down through hundreds of generations and owned by families. So this is a very beautiful oil. You would have heard about it in biblical stories. It was one of the oils that was given when Jesus was born. And it is just an absolute treasure. So the next one is Copaiba, and this one has been sourced from South America and used in South American cultures for hundreds of years for its healing and meditative and I guess anti-inflammatory, but from an emotional and spiritual perspective of its calming properties. So this one really helps soothe anxious feelings. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or wound up, this is really going to pull you down. So not only does it support your immune, digestive and nervous systems, but it really can help be that barrier and that buffer for your emotions as well. So Copaiba contains the highest levels of BCP currently known within known essential oils. So I suggest those people that are looking for a safe, pure and cost-effective alternative to CBD or cannabis oil, as this magical oil has very similar properties, but for a fraction of the price. But I personally use it alongside frankincense every morning. I actually keep these two, Frankincense and Copaiba, beside my where I put my toothpaste and toothbrush, and I just have a couple of drops of this after I brush my teeth each day, morning and night, which is very nice, and it just really helps me with calming down and that grounding effect throughout the day. So the next one I'm going to talk about is one of Ron's favorites, actually. This is a real beautiful, sweet smelling resin oil. So it's called Sandalwood. This one's sourced from India. And the smell will take you to a meditative space. So it really just smells like a meditation space. It's sweet, woody, earthy. And yeah, it creates grounding and feelings of alignment, calmness, and well-being, which is really lovely. Arborviate, this is my 7-year-old Boaz's favorite oil. And this one is slightly different from the other oils. Arborviate, well, firstly it's known as the tree of life, which is cool. And it creates a sense of peace and calm. But it is extracted in a slightly different way, and it's a very strong, spicy oil. So this one I would generally just use topically or in a diffuser. It's definitely only for aromatic or topical use, unlike frankincense and copaiba. The next oil I'm going to talk to you about is cedarwood, which is an amazing oil. It's taken from 100-foot plus massive trees that grow in cool climates in southeastern USA. And it has very high sesquiterpene alcohol levels, which is gives it its really grounding effects. It's one of the most grounding oils. And the very cool thing about the cedarwood oil is that it's actually taken as a byproduct of the timber industry in the US. So it is very cost effective. It's very good for sustainable sourcing, which is awesome. Now, I want to tell you how I use these oils. And the cool thing about these resin and tree oils is that they are not only really beautiful and grounding, but they're also very, very beautiful for your skin. So they help our skin cells rebuild themselves. I could go into the more scientific detail, but that's basically what they do. They help our the good cells in our skin regenerate. So topically is the way that I would use these oils. Firstly, just because I don't want to miss out on the beautifying effects for my skin as well as the grounding effects. So I actually make up my own cleanser. So I just have a little bottle of oil, and I will put in one of the resin oils. So I'll put maybe 10 drops of a resin oil. My favorite for the cleansing properties is frankincense or cedarwood. So I'll put about 10 drops of those in, and then I'll put in 10 drops of floral oils. So these are really beautifying for the skin. And with the fractionated coconut oil, it creates a really great cost-effective way of cleansing the face. And I just put it on my skin before I hop in the shower and wipe it off with a cloth. And that's a really, really great way to get those grounding oils into your daily routine. Another way is to create our own pure fumes. So, as you get more and more into this doTERRA world, you'll come to understand that there are a lot of toxins and chemicals in, conventional perfumes, and we really want to steer clear of those. So to create a really grounding, beautiful, pure fume, I do a similar thing to what I do with the facial cleanser, but I just do it slightly stronger. And then I will get the blend and I'll put it on my pulse points. few times throughout the day. And I can actually do these blends and create a little time of meditation and space throughout my day where I give myself a few minutes to roll them on, maybe put some on my hands and inhale them, and really just take a few deep breaths and calm and ground me throughout the day. So my favorite blends for pure fumes are actually as my earth and grounding base note for the pure fume would be Sandalwood or Cedarwood are my two faves. And then I will have a mid note of either geranium or lavender. I just love these oils. And then a top note, I usually reach for an uplifting citrus oil, such as yum, green mandarin, delicious, wild orange, or super sexy grapefruit oil. And I'll just put about 10 to 15 drops of each of those oils in, and then blend it with the fractionated coconut oil. And that gives me a really beautiful pure fume that not only makes me smell delicious, and I can custom blend it to suit my personality, but also it's going to give me that grounding and that real feeling of calm throughout the day, which is really amazing. The other way that I can use these essential oils or these resin oils is aromatically. So, one way I can just simply get the oil, put one drop in my hand, rub them together, and just take a few deep breaths. And I actually just imagine myself sitting in a forest of these beautiful trees, and that can just absolutely transform the way that I'm feeling and bring me back down to earth. The other option is putting those oil blends that I spoke about, so the base note of the resin oil, the mid notes of florals, and the top notes of citrus oils, and just putting maybe 2 or 3 drops of each of those oils into a diffuser, and then helping it, diffuse into your whole home, and giving everybody in your home and your space that feeling of grounding and calm. So there are some custom blends that doTERRA do, so you don't need to get too technical, or if you just want something really super easy. And that my two favorites are Peace and Forgive. So these oils have actually they're pre-blended. They're still pure, so you have to dilute them if you applied them topically. But you can put 2 or 3 drops of these directly into the diffuser, and straight away they will absolutely transform your life. So Peace is a very, I would say that it smells like my hippie boyfriend from my teenage years. So it smells like a pot smoking, Great Barrier living, jandal wearing hippie, which is great. Takes me back to a good time in my life, but it really does bring me back down to earth and let me breathe deeply and feel calm and grounded. The other really cool blend is Forgive. So this one here smells a little bit more sort of herbaceous, because it's got the thyme and juniper berry in it, but it does have and it's got bergamot in it, but it does have resin and tree oils in it, and it smells like a beautiful lush forest. So this is the oil that I'll put in my diffuser if I'm wanting to I guess feel uplifted and grounded but fresh. So this is a really fresh feeling, and it kind of gives you a sense of renewal, which is really nice, especially in this time where we've done a lot of grounding. I feel like now that we've gone inwards and really come down and slowed down, it's now time to open up and expand and go out to the world. So I was in my peace state, and I've just about finished this bottle during lockdown, and now I'm going to go into my Forgive and my renewing blend, which is great. Now I can't go past the most amazing blend that doTERRA does. I guess you've all been watching and going, but when's she going to talk about balance oil? It's the grounding oil, and it so is. I just wanted you guys to sort of expand your oil horizon and look at other options that you could use and different ways that you can use the oils that you've got. But absolutely, the Balance blend is off the charts amazing. Now, it's already diluted in fractionated coconut oil. It's got spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus all blended together in just the most beautiful, down-to-earth, grounding. Every person in the household can use it. It's the most amazing oil. I just get a little roller top like this and put it straight onto the oil. And I have one in the bathroom and one beside my bed. In the morning, I actually put it on like a perfume. And before I go to bed, I roll it on the bottom of my feet. And it just gives me, well, firstly, it reduces that chatter that goes on in your head before you go to sleep. Like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Oh my goodness, I've got a list. I'm so busy, I'm so crazy, blah, blah, blah. The world's coming to an end. Wow. It stops that, which is good. But it also really just makes you, I think that it smells like, almost like the ocean. Like it gives you that feeling of tranquility, like that smell that you'd have if you were on a beautiful boat and you were just super relaxed and calm, and there was maybe even running water, maybe a stream is what it smells like. Maybe sitting under a tree beside a stream, or sitting on a boat hearing the water tap against the side of the boat. It just to me, it smells like water, and it's just so grounding and calming and beautiful. So Balance blend, which is called the grounding blend, is obviously an amazing grounding oil. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed our grounding blend lockdown edition, and really just hope everybody is making the best of this lockdown situation. I know it's a really crappy situation for the whole world to be in, but I'm just really trying to think of all the great things that are coming from this. The amazing sense of connection that I have with my partner, the time that I get to spend with my kids, even though often I want to forgive over their heads, no, and they are driving me batty, but just this time, even though it, we haven't chosen it, it's chosen us, but really just understanding that we can make the best out of the situation. We can really embrace what we've got, the time we've got, the space we've got, the ability to slow down and ground ourselves and really come into ourselves and understand what really drives us, what motivates us, without the rush and the crazy of the world. And for those of you that are still working, frontline workers, you guys need these grounding blends more than ever. So I just would love any of you that could make up a blend and pass it on to somebody that has still been working and is going crazy. Or if you are, thinking ahead for the week, going into level 3 of lockdown, maybe thinking about reaching out to somebody that has got a very small bubble that needs some love and attention, and handing on some oils to them, that would be amazing. Now have an awesome evening, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the sun today, and thank you so much for listening to my grounding blends. See ya. Mwah.